What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here this morning with a brand new review for Ready to Love. This is season 9 reunion part 2, you guys. So, before we go ahead and even just hop into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into part 2 of the Ready to Love Dallas reunion. Because they keep saying they say Fort Worth, but it's some of this stuff was filmed in Dallas. So let's be real with each other. Now, the reunion picked up where we ended. You guys remember last week, part 1, that Alexis, she ended up leaving the reunion. So now we're back on the stage. And watching part 2 last night, it really solidified to me that this season they didn't have much to go off of because we didn't have much to discuss. Because when we got back to the stage, we're talking about Lamar. And I was like, oh my God, why are we talking about Lamar and how he was on the show? We saw how Lamar was. Everyone felt the way about Lamar and the things that he would say to the women. I don't know if going into this, well, he did say it. He thought it would be an icebreaker, but that's not an icebreaker to ask those intimate of questions to people that you're just meeting for the first time. And it feels like to me, Lamar don't see anything wrong with what he did, and that's a problem. You're a man of a certain age. You should know how to sit down and have an intelligent conversation with women instead of asking them about skinny dipping, threesomes, and things of that nature. It's kind of like what Patrice said. The only women that I would expect you to be asking those questions to are women that are off of Harry Hines Boulevard. And he didn't know what Harry Hines is. So if anybody didn't know what Harry Hines is, so Harry Hines, it's a very long road here in Dallas, and it's you'll see a lot of things over there. You will see a lot of homeless people over there. You will see now. I want to also specify and say that there are homes off Harry Hines Boulevard, so it's not what they made it out 100% what they made it out to be. There are some there are some adult stores over there, and there are some, you know, how do I say this colorfully and keep it classy? So there are, there are places over there where women, they dance with no clothes on and they dance around poles. That's the nicest way I can say it. So yes, you will find some women of the night over there too, but there are some there are some areas of Harry Hines that you can stay on that doesn't have that, but that is what that area is primarily known for. And she was right. I would expect him to have those conversations with women who work in the X work position in the X work industry, right? Not women that you are trying to build a connection with to possibly find love. But going back to it, I don't necessarily believe that when it comes down to not Jonathan, but to Lamar, he was really necessarily looking for love. What I want Lamar to do is go and look for that missing side tooth. That's what I want him to go and do. Look for that missing side tooth, sir, because that thing is still just on full, and I mean full display, that you don't have that side tooth in your mouth and you over here just cheesing and smiling. But hey, like I said, I was kind of confused as to why we were having this conversation with Lamar. It just to me didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I mean, okay, this is the point where I was like, okay, yeah, this second half is because we didn't have anything really to delve into or to discuss with the reunion because remember, part one we discussed the situation. We how many couple? I mean, we only had two couples, right? At the end of the season, we had Patrice and Alonzo. We've already talked to them in part one, and then we had Mika and Justin, and we'll talk about them later in the review. So after that, we move on to Jonathan, and I was like, wow. Once again, this was just telling me that there was nothing that this season 100% gave, because now we're talking about Jonathan. Jonathan left early in the process. So, what is there to really discuss about Jonathan? And what I will say for me also is it doesn't feel like Tommy is holding the men accountable for things, because he didn't hold Lamar accountable for how rude he was towards the women. Then with Jonathan, the fact that Jonathan wasn't really present in the process, Tommy asked him about that. Jonathan gave an answer about him at his most vulnerable, but that's the name. But you're trying to come on this show to look for love. When you find you let your guard down and you become vulnerable with someone that you love. So I didn't understand that whole line of question, that comment that he made. It was just kind of off-putting for me. Then we talked about him and Mika, right? And the fact that Mika was addressing his ex-wife as the baby mama. And he was like, "Well, that's what you said. I didn't say it." But you never corrected her as well. That's the problem with this. You this is your ex-wife. So when Mika kept saying the baby mama, you could have just said, "Hey, respectfully, I would appreciate it if you didn't call her a baby mama. She is my ex-wife." But he didn't do that, and I was like, "Okay, something's not clicking up here with this man." Hey, Kira, how are you doing this morning? Like something just ain't clicking with old boy, and I don't know what it is. But like I said, part two of this reunion, kind of like what they're doing with Love and Marriage DC tonight. They could have done this with Love. We're Ready to Love. They could have did part one last. They could have did the reunion part one, kind of like what they did to We're Ready to Love, Make a Move. They could have just went right into the reunion, and then we got part two last week, because part two is just a bunch of nothing. It was fluff. Kira says part two annoyed me. Yeah, part two annoyed me as well. I haven't gotten to the parts that annoyed me yet. Well, no, technically I'm lying, because the whole first part of this reunion annoyed me, because I was just in here like, why are we rehashing things that make no sense? Like, I just didn't understand rehashing Lamar if we're not gonna call Lamar out on how he made the women feel. Then with Jonathan, if we're not going to call out the fact that he wasn't really participating in the process, we're not going to call that out. And then he gonna sit there and say, "Well, yeah, maybe I should have said something to her that was my ex-wife." You think? Like, I would, like, if I were his ex-wife, I would feel a way about that. Like, you literally sat there and let a woman call me your baby mama when I am not your baby mama. I am your ex-wife. I am the mother of your child. Like, come on. Kira says Tommy didn't had these men accountable for anything. No, he did not. And that was a problem for me, especially when we get to Chaz. But we ain't got there yet. So then, like I said, this part two just let me know that there was nothing that really happened this season, because then we had a whole segment about feet. I was like, feet, 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 because they showed us a never before seen scene where Chaz was talking about he gets riled. I guess he gets going when he see women in heels. I was like, okay. Then we saw Alonzo sticking his tongue out like a dog, talking to, I believe it was Patrice. I can't be positive about that one. I was just like, okay, yeah, we just trying to feel the scene, because nothing. The season gave the more I looked at this reunion, I was like, okay, yeah, this season really didn't give us much. The more that I looked at it, but we had how many episodes up until now? But okay, we talking about feet, you guys, feet. That's all. Uh, hey, movie bay, you said this was my first season, but Tommy never does. No, Tommy never holds them. He never holds them in accountable. But this season, the problem that I had was him not holding certain, like especially the stuff with Lamar. Lamar literally made those women uncomfortable. The women voiced that, and at the reunion, we're not going to call it out. Like I just didn't understand that, but okay. Kira says Jonathan is obtuse. They skated past Lamar, making the ladies uncomfortable, and Jonathan making Alexis uncomfortable. Now, I was gonna say something about that because you guys know how I feel about Alexis. That I think Alexis is a big, huge pick me, and they did really as much as I don't like her. They did, they definitely did skate past that, and I was like, wow, we're not gonna address the fact that that man made that woman feel uncomfortable by putting her in his lap. But okay, if you say so. Then it got worse when we got to Chaz. Um, oh yeah, just like the choking and spank me convo was made into a joke. It really was. That conversation was definitely made into a joke because. But the thing with that conversation was it's the fact that Alonzo just continues to lie instead of being man enough to say, you know what, yeah, I meant it that way, and yeah, looking back on it, maybe I shouldn't have said it to her. But no, we're not gonna hold anybody accountable. Kira says, I don't like Alexis either. That was crazy. He went way too far, way too far. And then you guys, like I said, next up we get to Chaz. You guys, Chaz. Chaz is still coming with BS for me. Chaz is still coming with BS, and I was annoyed with this entire segment. So Chaz wants to say that he wasn't trying to mislead any of the women, but you did. And the reason why you misled them is when you got to the end, you were locked in with not Patrice, but you were locked in with Vanessa. Then at the final hour, you bring in Patrice to the mix. That is confusing to the women. Then, when you went up to that room, you were looking for a moment, and none of the women played into you beside Patrice. So you were being deceptive to them. Like I just don't like Chaz. Movie base says, oh that guy, oh that guy there grinds my gears. Oh God, does he ever grind my gears? I never got to see Chaz another day in my life, right? So here he goes again with the manipulation and the gaslighting, right? So he's talking to Vanessa and he's trying to make it out that him and Vanessa had this connection. So he's like, if I brought you flowers, I brought you 2 dozen flowers. And with the other women, I maybe brought them a dozen flowers. Chaz, what does that mean to in the grand scheme of things? What does that mean? That just means that you are trying to buy her affection. That doesn't mean that you like her. It means you are trying to buy her affection. Chaz played that narcissistic game, that gaslighting game with someone else. And I wanted Tommy to chime in and say something like, Tommy, say something to this. You see what the man is doing. He's trying to make her look stupid on television. And I'm not going to sit here and go along with that. And I'm starting to believe now that it was Chaz who leaked that video, although he said his phone got stolen or hacked or whatever. Chaz, that was you. Just be real about the whole situation. And so Kira says he is the narcissist. Absolutely, he is the narcissist. So then he talks about his dog, right? And I'm going to say this, and I hope nobody gets offended by it. And I'm going to say this also that I am someone who also loves dogs. I've had dogs since I was a kid, right? I love my dogs. Looked at them as part of my family. But would I ever compare a dog to children? No. So he was basically trying to compare his dog to her kids. Bringing your dog around another person is not the same as bringing your children around someone else. It is completely different. It is completely different. You don't necessarily when it comes to your dog, you can when people come over to meet you, you can say, "Hey, I'm gonna put my dog outside. I'm gonna put my dog in their cage. I'm gonna put my dog in a different room." When it comes to your kids, you ain't gonna say, "Oh, I'm just gonna throw my kids right outside. Oh, I'm gonna throw my kids in the basement and lock them up." No, that's not the same. Like it's not the same. And I just didn't like the fact that he tried to compare the kids to her kids to his dog. Not the same. Again, I get it. People love their animals just as much as people who have kids love their children. But don't sit there and try to make that comparison because I did not like that. Then we get to the situation of that wilted, deceased, dead flower. So Chaz wants to say that he is poetic. I was like, you are full of it. You're full of it, Chaz. You're not poetic at all. You were looking for a moment with her. And the moment that you wanted with her, you didn't get it because she told you she wasn't picking you. What you were intending for, what you wanted from her was for her to pick you so that way you could then bring out that flower and dump her and say you weren't choosing her, but it backfired in your face. That's what happened. And you felt a little moldy, you felt a little crunchy in that particular moment. Let's be real about that, Chaz. And then he called her a narcissist. I was like, no, 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 no. Not Chaz calling her a narcissist. Sir, please take a good long hard look in the mirror. You're the narcissist. Kira says he's ridiculous 100%. 100%. Kira also says he had time to think about the poetic thing. And like she said, it didn't land. It absolutely did not land. And I'm so like, I don't know where I like I said, I knew he was looking for a moment, and yeah, he definitely had some time to think about why he gave her that flower for him to say he's poetic. Sir, miss me with the BS. So then Alonzo don't sit over there and try to defend him. I was like, you have no room to talk. Please sit over there and shut up, sir. You and your lisp. So with Chaz, we found out that he's in a new relationship and a date is set. And they were like, but it was 3 months ago. He was like, yeah, she wanted me to go through this process. And I was like, oh, so that's the 11th woman that you were talking about. Whatever woman he's with is a dumbass. That's the nicest thing I can say about that woman. She's stupid. She's dumb. She's less than smart. Because if this is somebody that you are in love with and wanting to marry, why would you then send him onto a reality show to look for love? That doesn't make any kind of sense. None whatsoever. But okay, if she likes it, I love it. But good luck to her and Chaz in the future. I don't care. Period. Point blank. Let me know if you guys care in the comment section and in the live chat. Then after Chaz, we went to Luron. I was like, oh my God. It's like we just won, like, this is just a slope to hell at this point. Because what? I thought Kira says, yep, connection number 11. So, Luron, the one thing that I will say about Luron is actually, it's not even one thing that I want to say about Luron. It's a few things that I want to say about Luron. Luron is insecure. Luron is childish. Luron is jealous. Those are the three things that I want to say about Luron right off the rip, right? And also, I had forgot about the interaction that him and Koshia had when they went to the pajama party. That's why I say Luron is jealous and insecure because he's talking about the fact that at one point Koshia went out on a date with Chaz. That is part of this process to date people, get to know people, Find out who you're connected with. It ain't her fault that you were only following behind her. And then you found Maya later in the process after Koshia went home. That has nothing to do with Koshia. But then again, that speaks to your jealousy, because your jealousy and your insecurity, because it came up later in the season with Maya. And Koshia said that him and her, they ain't having no conversation. He tried to reach out to her, but she ain't talking to him. Congratulations, girl. I'm happy for you. Don't ever talk to him ever again in life, right? Maya, let's have a little bit of a heart to heart, a little bit of a conversation. It's strictly for you, Maya. Maya, Maya, Maya. I'm going to ask you this question. Why in the hell are you even giving him the time of day to have any kind of conversation with you? If it were me and he called me a BICTH, shout out to Mama D. If he called me out of my name, if he called me the B word, a female dog, LaRon would have been blocked on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, texting me. He would have been blocked from any kind of communication with me. He would not be able to find me. He would have to send a carrier pigeon to find me. But she's giving him a shot. I was like, girl, for what? Why do you want this jealous man? If he is jealous of the fact, like he was jealous of the fact that Koshia went out on a date with Chaz. He was jealous about the guy that you guys met at the club, wherever y'all went to. That tells you who he is. As the age-old saying goes, once a person shows you who they are, a person shows you who they are, and you believe that, right? So he showed you who he is. You need to listen to that and believe that. Ain't no in hell I would have a conversation with with LaRon. The hell? Movie Base says Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Christian Mingle. Exactly. He wouldn't be able to find me. He would have to send a pigeon towards me. And once that pigeon comes towards me, I'm gonna tell that pigeon go another direction. This ain't what you're looking for. I am not Maya. Go away. Like I was just disappointed in Maya, the fact that she's entertaining this man. And I know he be on social media trying to trying to clear everything up. Let me say it one more time, and let me say it loudly and clearly. I don't care. Period. The season is over. I don't care, but I just don't think that it might not be he might not be abusive, but I wouldn't want to be with nobody as immature, childish, and insanely jealous as LaRon is. That's all I gotta say. If a manager's going out of the blue call you a bitch, yeah, nah. Hey, the Haitian Empress, how are you doing this morning? Kira says, I don't know why Maya is giving him another chance. Like, I just don't understand that. When he said that they are talking, my mouth just dropped. I was like, I know that this has got to be a lie. This can't be real life. And then she said it later in the episode that, yeah, she is giving him a chance. I was like, why? You must like being disrespected then, because that's the only thing I can get out of that, is that you must like the disrespect. Because baby, ain't no way in hell that man, again, there is no way in hell that man would be able to look at me, do anything around me involving the letters M and E. Like, no. Hey, how are you doing this morning? V Jones 1965. The Haitian Empress is doing well. Now that this awful season is over, I need a cleanse. Yes, definitely need a cleanse from this terrible season. And I didn't realize watching this season, yes, it got on my nerves, but I didn't realize how truly bad this season was until we got to the reunion. Like, I didn't realize it. So then we move on to the whole group text of it all, right? Will is a liar. Let's say that right there, right? Because LaRon said, actually he said verbatim what was said in the group in the text message, right? That Will had an inside girl or something like that. He said he didn't have one, but LaRon pulled out the text messages and LaRon showed Tommy the text. Tommy read the text, right? Will, the one thing that I want to say about you is you're a weak ass, lame ass nigga with a fake chain on your neck, right? That's all I gotta say about you. Now, Will and LaRon was like, Will and LaRon were talking about the fact that they don't talk to each other, and LaRon was like, "Yeah, you know not to talk to me." I was like, the interesting thing with LaRon is he puts on this tough guy exterior, and I'm like, "Sir, I don't think that is at all who you are." But okay. Um, the Haitian Emperor says, "For Maya Entertainer, LaRon Pooh is a paying part-time gig for the love of money. It's got to be something." So you said, so I missed you talking about missing side tooth, Lamar. Yeah, I talked about him in the beginning of the review. So yeah, catch the playback. But yeah, I definitely talked about that missing side tooth man. Didn't understand why he was there. I wanted him to go find that missing side tooth. That's what I want him to do. Instead of asking a woman about skinny dipping with him or doing anything of the sort, I just want you to go kindly find that side tooth that's missing because it's really bothersome. Like the thing, let's talk about that real quick because the thing that bothered me in this reunion is the fact that when they were talking to him, they would pan to that side where that side tooth is missing. I'm like, y'all are intentionally doing this to us. But I was just like, y'all are intentionally doing this. And I wish I would stop because I'm tired of looking at this man opening his mouth wide as hell with that missing side tooth. But uh the interesting thing with this reunion, especially when we got to the whole group text thing, they were saying that they were talking about what happened outside of the lounge, right? But Tommy says, didn't Tommy say that what happens in the lounge stays in the lounge? And I was like, exactly. So why are y'all talking to the women about what's happening in the lounge? And if we're being honest with each other, the only woman that was talking to the men outside of the lounge, from what we can see, is Alexis. Nobody else but Alexis. And then what else happened? Oh, Will was trying to. I know Will was. It was said that Will was talking about they were trying to get the men out with the most swag because they knew that they had the power to get rid of the women. I was like, run that back, run that one back real quick to me. What man had the most swag on this season? I just want to know the answer to that question because from the outside looking in, none of y'all had swag. Will, you're sitting over there with a fake chain on. You were sleeping in let me clear it up. You weren't sleeping on the floor, but you were sleeping in a staged house. And I'm gonna repeat it one more time because Tommy tried to make Patrice feel bad last week about that. If you're sleeping in a staged house, what are you going to do when that house sells? Where are you going to go stay? Because you're not staying in an apartment, you don't have your apartment anymore. So you are what? Essentially homeless. Miss me with that as well, right? Like, I can't make this stuff up. And Tommy didn't even hold nobody accountable with the damn text message. I was like, oh my God, please get this stuff off. Please get this off of my television screen. Um, the Haitian Emperor says, ask for dental implant references instead of X Club locations. Exactly. Kira says, not Will lying when LeBron had the receipts. Yikes. I hollered. I couldn't do nothing but laugh in that particular moment when he was like, but I don't talk to you. I don't talk to you. Okay, you don't talk to him, but the man is saying that he got the text message. He's like, well, if you got to show it. And LeBron pulled it out. That is the only thing about LeBron that I respect is the fact that he had them receipts and he pulled them out. Um, the Haitian Empress also says any of these men had swag. Not from where I saw. Uh, Moving Base says none and definitely not Will. Will definitely ain't got no swag. And Kira says swagless season. Moving Base said exactly a staged home, not your home. And I wish Tommy had said that last week because a staged home is not yours. It's a house that you're staging to sell or rent or do something to someone else. So once that house is off the market, you don't have a home. You're homeless. The Haitian Emperor says he's a real estate nomad. He's a real estate nomad, crashing staged homes all over Texas. That's what it's given. Because if you moved out of your apartment, put your stuff in storage, and you're staying in a staged home, that means you can afford that home, huh? That means you can afford that apartment. And let me say this, because yes, the cost of living is expensive, and here in Dallas, the rent is, it's high here in Dallas. It really is. But my apartment, I live in a one bedroom, and my rent is almost at I'm at 17 right now for mine, but I can afford it, right? But just be honest, we'll say you didn't have it because you're living in a staged house. That doesn't make a lot of sense, sir. But okay, you want to talk about you making it? You got $1 million. Is it liquid? Is these are these assets that you have liquid? Because they don't sound like they're liquid, sir. But okay, knock yourself out. And then you guys, we wrap it up. Actually, let me talk about this real quick because I'm not gonna remember because when we got towards the end of it, when Tommy was asking people what they were doing, I wasn't listening. But I did hear Will say he was dating two girls. I was like, oh, an ass clown, huh? Okay, whatever. Also, here's the other thing. I was so tired of seeing them with Glenn. I felt so bad for that man. I was like, I wish I would really stop trying to make this man have these forced conversations with the women. Because when he was talking to Koshia, that conversation was so painful to watch. I was like, I really wish this would just end right about now. Because I couldn't stomach a minute of that scene. Now we talked to Alexis and wrong person. Mika and to Justin, right? So Mika and Justin, they have said the L word to each other, which I think is very soon. If the process was over 3 months prior to that, but I mean, if they love each other, they love each other, right? I was correct about Mika. Mika did not want any more kids, but I hope that with Mika and Justin, they're a cute couple. Are they going to be a success couple? Success couple for Ready to Love? We shall see. I wish them nothing but the best, but that's really all we got. Haitian Empress says crashing stage home, the new form of homosexualism. Exactly. She also says, I want to Glenn off my screen. Something very performative about him. Yeah, from like I've been saying this entire season when it comes to Glenn, I always felt like Glenn was a production pet. Like I felt like a production plant, not pet, a production plant. I never felt like he was really supposed to be a part of this process because I'm gonna go back to episode one. That man went in that limo. He went in that car. That was a audio clip that they had of him probably when they mic'd him up, but he wasn't in that car. Movie Base says Justin was the best man on this season, in my opinion. I agree. Out of all the men this season, the one that I truly did like was Justin. And I hope things work out with Justin and Mika. The thing with Justin and Mika is they want different things. I think they both want a relationship, but I think the thing is because she said his dog likes her, he's met her kids on FaceTime. I think the thing for those two, if he is serious about this, he's going to have to know that Mika doesn't want any more kids. And then he's going to actually, he was saying how he said in the season that if he doesn't have kids, he's fine. He's come to the point where he's fine with that. That's going to be a decision that he has to be definitive on with Mika, knowing that she doesn't want any more kids. He's going to have to definitively come to the conclusion, okay, I'm in this relationship with this girl. She has two kids of her own. Those are going to be my stepkids. I hope that if they do go the long route, that Justin can accept that and accept her children as his kids, right? But only time will tell with those two. But I wish them nothing but the best. Um, I wish that Maya would get away from Luron because that man means good. That is really all I got, you guys. That's a wrap on season 9 of Ready to Love. Thank God. So I know that they're currently in the process of casting for the next season, season 10, and I know it's in Philly. Um, I know our girl Shayna was talking about she's gonna audition for it. So if she does, we'll have somebody from the YouTube world that will be on the show if she makes it. For my girl's sake, I don't know how I feel about that. because this show is a joke. At this point, it's a joke. But yeah, season 9 is in the books. I want you guys to tell me how you thought about the season. Overall, like I said, none of these people were. I think the women are always looking for love, but I always think that they cast a bad batch of men. I think they always cast a bad batch of men, and that's I think what ends up being the downfall for Ready to Love. My personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Movie Base says these men had a club hosting in Dallas last weekend, and I was like, hell no. Wait, they had a club? Where? Because I didn't know nothing about that. Well, I don't keep up with these people. That's another thing. I don't keep up with these people. I don't go out too much in Dallas like that anymore, which I do want to start back going out. But I'm, you know what? I don't even hang out with these this cast of men. Definitely want to hang out with none of them. None of them. None of them are likable. But yeah, you guys. I want you guys to, like I said, tell me your thoughts, your opinions on the overall, on part 2 of the reunion, on the season overall. Like I said, part 2 of the reunion gave little to nothing because Tommy didn't hold the men accountable for anything, and it just felt like how the women felt about certain things was glossed over. It just felt glossed over. Even part 1, I felt like as much as with Patrice, I didn't see it for Patrice. I felt like she got glossed over with the whole Alonzo situation. So with Ready to Love, great show, right? Great premise. Only thing that I have an issue with is for the women, there's no one there for them to there's no one there for them to kind of talk to. Like I kind of wish that I actually do wish that Tommy's wife would show up more for the women, like so that Tommy can talk to the men and his wife can talk to the women, or even bring on Tamika from Rated to Love, Make a Move. Like bring on the presence of a woman to have conversations with the women, and also a woman that can sit down and have a conversation with the men and tell them, make them see from a woman's perspective. I think that that would be something that could help this show. And now, if Ready to Love takes this idea, I want my cut because I'm giving y'all something right here. Bring on either, like I said, nephew Tommy's wife or Tamika to have a conversation, to be a sounding board for the women. And also, if, like I said, when the women say how they feel about the men, they can have someone there to have their back. That's how I feel. Okay, you said I can't remember somewhere far north. I'm far north, and so that mean they were in my area. Thank God I did not know. So the Haitian Empress said they did a whole lame video to them walking in slow mo, rubbing their crusty, dusty hands. Ugh. Okay. Oh, to promote ugh. Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'm definitely glad I missed that. To promote the reunion viewing. Ugh. The Haitian Empress says I think I'm done with Ready to Love. You know what? I'm not gonna speak on. I've said my piece about that lady because it wouldn't be me. I've said my thing. I've said my thing about that with Tommy and his wife. That she waited for 17 years for a dang on ring. It just could not. It could not be, girl. Ooh, if she like it, I love it. So Kira says part 2 was disappointing. I was expecting fireworks. They could have put this all in one episode. Absolutely. Help the women channel their inner doormats to wait 20 years for a man. I don't want her to do that. That I don't want the woman to do. I just want somebody that's going to advocate for the women. Because I don't feel like Tommy's a okay host, right? But when it comes to his frat brothers or even just some of the men in general, he never advocates for the women. Never. And I don't like that. All these partial connections after the fact, shaking my head. Yeah, you know, that's something that always happens every season, and I just be like, you know what? It is what it is. They gonna do what they gonna do, and we gonna let them. If they like it, I love it, right? But yeah, you guys, that is part two of the Ready to Love Fort Worth reunion. It, like I said, it didn't give me nothing. I was actually bored. I watched it last night, and then I had to come back again this morning and watch it before I did the review, and still got nothing. So, you guys, do me a solid favor. Be sure to like the video on your way out. And hold on. Kira says the women do need someone to speak up on their behalf. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. No, I'm, with Tommy's a wife, yes, I don't want her to tell them women, I don't want her to be like, oh, you gotta, do these things to appease a man because of, I waited, you know, X amount of, years before we got married. No, don't do that. Just speak on them. Can somebody do a GFM for Chaz? He needs serious help. Yeah, Chaz is just, mm, Chaz is a lost cause, I would say. Chaz is a lost cause. And I'm so glad that I never, and I mean I never have to see that man ever again in my life. The Haitian neighbor said I too fell asleep. Yeah, it was boring. Like super duper boring. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here because I gotta do some other videos. But be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. Also, I'm gonna shout out some people that I want you guys to go check out that I know have done their review. Well, I don't know if Shayna has done her review, but I'm gonna shout out Shayna. Go check out Shayna. Go check out the Bell Perspective. Check out Kira Speaks as well. Check out Brandy. Is it Yvonne or Yvonne? I always get those. I always get confused. But go check out Brandy. She did her review last night. Go check out Misha. Go check out everybody, guys. Who go support everybody who reviews this. When I say lackluster ass season and lackluster review. But I will see you guys again later for what's coming up, you guys. So tomorrow we got part 3 of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. With that one, I'm trying to debate if I'm going to go live and discuss it. I think I will go live to discuss. I'm going to do my pre-recorded video, but I also think I'm going to do a live just to get my thoughts and opinions out about Real Housewives of Potomac because I saw a clip from tomorrow's episode that really pissed me off. Okay, it's Yvonne. Okay, thank you, Kira. So yeah, you guys, I know I probably will. I'm going live Monday, I think, but I'm going to still do my pre-recorded video, you guys. So you guys will get that. But I'm going to have to go live to discuss what I saw from Giselle's raggedy ass. I'm trying not to start because I'm getting pissed right about now because that clip that I saw of Giselle, it really infuriated me because this goes into the conversation that we've been having for years about colorism on the Real Housewives of Potomac. This goes hand in hand with that colorism thing, and I'm so over it. Like, I'm trying not to get into it, you guys, because it got on my nerves last. I'm not upset about it. It just got on my nerves that these women are hypocrites on that show, and I can't with Potomac. And so we're going to talk about Potomac because I don't know what's going to happen for me with Potomac if I'm going to continue with Potomac now that Candace is gone, and I'm hearing rumors that Wendy is gone. I don't know that that's true because the contracts have not gone out yet. But Potomac is a sinking ship, and Giselle, like I said, Giselle really pissed me. She didn't piss me off. It was her comment that upset me because how in the hell do you blame Wendy, who wasn't even a part of the situation? I'm gonna head of myself, you guys. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it in the review. And yes, I am gonna go because Haitian Empress said, "Are you going to do a live for the Witches of Potomac?" Yeah, I think I am. The thing with Potomac is for my live, I want it to be monetized. So I'm gonna have to, curtail some of the cursing that I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to, articulate myself in that video without just going in. But Giselle is gonna get it from me because I just do not, for the life of me, I do not understand how you can blame. like you have that much hatred for Wendy and Candace that you are going to sit here and blame the part that's really. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna get off here, you guys. But the part that really is bothering me is the fact that they are blaming Candace and Wendy for a fight that they were not involved in. Instead, y'all just absolve Ashley. We're absolving Ashley, who invited that funny looking woman to the party. Oh my God. But yeah, you guys, we are going to discuss Potomac because what I'm probably going to do tomorrow. What I'm going to do tomorrow is I watch it. I always do watch it live, but then I go to Peacock and watch the uncensored version. So those be the reviews that y'all are getting is the uncensored version. So we'll probably go live Monday sometime during my lunch break and discuss the uncensored version. That's how I think we're going to do it. But like I said, I have to just internally, I got to think about the things that I want to say without cursing so much to keep that video monetized. You say the Haitian Empress says, I think we should do a live as those green eyed witches need to be discussed. They absolutely do. And you say, I guess Wendy is also to blame for for Giselle's cheap fashions. No, she's to blame for those cheap fashions. Like, just tacky. But yeah, you guys, that's what. And then Summer House Martha's event. You guys know we got that as well. But yeah, I am gonna go live. Like I said, I just have to find the time to go live. But we are definitely gonna discuss part 3 of that reunion. But yeah, you guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday, and I will see you guys in the next video. Also, don't hold me to this, but we might talk about Love and Marriage DC reunion. I'm not sure. But if I don't talk about it, I want to tell you guys someone who I know will discuss it. And that is going to be my girl, Miss Kira Speaks, who is on the screen. Please go subscribe to Kira's channel. Kira has been rocking and rolling with Love and Marriage DC. Now, I don't know how Kira's going to do it tonight since their finale is tonight and part 1 is tonight. But Kira, I'll stay on here. If you're still in the chat, you can let the people know, how it's going to happen on your channel, and I'll let you, I'll put it on the screen. So if you're still in the chat, let us know when we can expect you to go live for those two. Oh my God, I don't know how you do, Kira. When I say I don't know how you've managed to stay with that show, I don't know how, because I just saw a clip of tonight's episode, and Joy and Ashley are once again going at it with each other. And I was like, oh my God, I thought they made up with each other. But yeah, that's all I got, you guys. But like I said, Kira, actually I'll reach out to Kira on social media, and I'll post it on my community tab. And if I see her link for her live, I'll post that for you guys as well. But let me get off here, you guys. Once again, I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by and commenting with me. And I will see you guys in the next video, you guys. So until then, take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, here's Kira. For Love and Marriage DC late tonight. Okay, you guys. So be sure to go check out Kira late tonight for Love and Marriage DC. I'll be in the chat with her, although I don't watch that show, but I will see you guys later. Bye, y'all. Have a good Saturday.